Let's unbox some vintage nail polish. I have a ton of polish coming, so in order to not be in an editing nightmare when those come, we're gonna get these out of the way. This first one is a Chicago in the shade Millennium, likely from the Millennium. You may have noticed that this looks like a knockoff of Rimmel, and it sort of is. Unilever owned both Rimmel and Chicago. Rimmel was distributed in the UK and US, while Chicago was, I think, exclusively for the German market. This next package is from Christine, a fellow collector. I actually picked these out 3 years ago from her D-stash, but she couldn't find them, though now she's moving, so she found them last week and they are finally here. I get asked daily how I find things, and people will be like, I checked eBay and I didn't see what I wanted. Most of the time you won't find what you want and have to wait years. I know people that have been waiting on wishlist bottles for over 20 years. This first one isn't terribly rare. It's Nicole's Stolen Kisses from the fall 1999 Lovestruck collection. And here's the ad for that from my magazine archive. And the next is also from Lovestruck. This one is in the shade Deeply in Love. And the last is the hardest to find, Nicole's Blind Date Blues from their 1997 launch. With this, I only need one more shade to complete the first 12. They launched with 24, but the first 12 is my special interest. I wish I could just say which one I'm missing, but unfortunately, if I do, it will also become the special interest of a lot of viewers that have been influenced to collect. It's honestly one of the biggest downsides of sharing as much as I do, but it's really inevitable since I'm often the introduction point for most newbies of this hobby. You know, there's always some growing pains when there's sort of an influx into a small, tight-knit niche, but hopefully those that are new can form their own collection identity in time. But anyways, if you have a Nicole numbered between 1 and 12, shoot me a message. Now this one isn't one I'd typically go for since it's a top coat, but it's a 1973 Smartie from the Bold Ones collection. You can really see how much product is unreachable since the brush gets nowhere near the bottom. This is a Chen Yu set from 1945. This one won't be revivable, but I like the packaging design regardless. It comes with a small bottle of Lacquerol, which I believe was a base coat, and the big bottle next to it is in the shade Frozen Fire. The brush wand on this is completely rusted, and I've had zero luck reviving Chen Yus with rusted wands, so we'll just appreciate it as is. I got this empty Cutex tin from the 1920s, and with it came a bottle of Cutex Light Rust from 1936. I'll be able to revive this one. This little 1946 manicure set is from none other than Peggy Sage. It comes with the usual manicure implements such as cuticle remover, polish remover, and a capless bottle of satin base. What I'm always most interested in though is the colored polish, and this one is in the shade Heady Wine. Surprisingly, the contents of this bottle are still moving, so I may not need to revive it at all. But we'll swatch it another day. Let's move on. This package is a few hard candies. Oddly enough, I purchased these years ago, but the seller backed out. I saw their name on the label on the box, so I was glad to see them come around again. I do have most of these, but I don't mind having backups. This one is in the shade After Hours, and this bottle style was from the early 2000s. This one is in the shade Stop from the late 90s. I did need this one still, though I do already have it in the early 2000s bottle style, but now I can compare them. The next is a bottle of Vibe from the mid-90s, and then the last one is in the shade Flicker. This last package isn't polish, but I wanted to support another creator I found on TikTok last year. Her art is amazing, and I love hyping up others that make cool stuff and have original content. Also, when I saw this piece of art, it was out of stock, so I waited I think 6 months, dreaming about how I'd frame it and where I'd hang it, so I wanted to share my excitement that it has finally come to fruition. Here's Tatiana's card. You can find her on TikTok, Instagram, Etsy, and YouTube. But let's look at this beauty, and I'll show you where I'll hang it. It's really hard to show while filming vertically, but I'm in love with this print called Gravity. It shows a cat laying on a dresser with a vase that is on the edge, slightly lifted, likely about to fall. If you're a cat lover, this sums up what it's like to live with them. And hi, welcome to my living room. I'm thinking it's gonna hang above the piano. The blues are slightly different, but with the right framing materials, it shouldn't matter. I think it's funny that we have a pair of similar vases from the Qing Dynasty that my husband found in the thrift store. But we keep them away from the cats, along with a collection of whiskers. I think this print also goes well with the painting above the fireplace. We purchased it on the day of the invasion of Ukraine from a Ukrainian artist. This will also complement the dining room really well since I painted it a golden yellow. Things we also keep away from cat gravity is this display of birds from the 1800s. My husband's sister saved these from a university dumpster. Some of these birds are extinct now. But this would look great in here as well. The gold on the cat's head is a perfect match. But speaking of cats, Yubi is in the living room just chillin'. But yeah, that was a little impromptu house sneak peek. We've done a lot to fix the walls and floors after it was trashed, and I'm excited to be able to decorate it with awesome art and thrift store finds. If you're into Tatiana's art, check her out. Now let's roll the credits. Here's our small haul of vintage polish from today. I should have another larger haul coming soon.